Hey Will, guess what we have this week?
Is it a real-life velociraptor?
It is not a velociraptor. It's an intro.
Welcome to Earth.
This may be the only thing I do that matters. You know what they say about the crazy ones?
Now you want to get nuts? Come on, let's get nuts.
You go, Glen Coco.
I understood that reference.
But to me, you've been dead for centuries.
Yes, what the Rock is cooking. Woo!
And here we go.
What do you think of the intro?
Well, it's no velociraptor, but I guess it'll do.
That it will. I'd just like to give a quick thank you to Connor Maloney for helping us out with that intro. So we'll go straight into swole stories here. I figured we'd talk about supplements this week. So what do you take for supplements?
I take some creatine. I don't take creatine right now. I was taking creatine. I'm on a creatine break, but so that's one of my usual supplements. I also take a pre-workout. I was taking Mr. Hyde. I now take, I think it's called GAT. I take BCAAs with my pre-workout, and then after my workout, I take some whey protein and glutamine, and I also take a multivitamin whenever during the day. And then at night, for those nighttime gains, I take casein protein.
Nice. So what are the BCAAs for?
It's a branch chain amino acid, and I'm not a scientist, but basically what it does is you take it, I work out fasted, so when you take that, it stops your muscles from being catabolized when you're working out without any fuel, so you burn fat instead of muscle.
Nice. Do you always work out fasted? Are there benefits to that?
Well, I typically just work out fasted because I wake up and go straight to the gym, and that I just I don't know, I just feel better working out without anything in my stomach. But there are times where I can't work out first thing in the morning, so I will work out with food in my system, but usually not for a couple hours. So it's kind of fasted, I guess.
Okay, I gotcha. For my supplements, I take the Mr. Hyde pre-workout before I go to the gym. During my workout, I'll just drink water, but post-gym, I take a whey protein with a scoop of creatine in it. I have lowered my dosage of creatine. I used to put it with my pre-workout, but as you informed me, Mr. Hyde already has creatine in it, so I stepped back from that scoop with the Mr. Hyde. And then at night, I'll take a casein protein. So 2 proteins, a creatine, and a pre-workout for me. All about them gains.
All about them gains. Now, you do not take a multivitamin or anything, Staldy?
I do take a multivitamin in the morning. When I wake up, it's just a gummy multivitamin because I am a child.
Yeah, I would take the gummies because I love how much they taste, but I'm just too cheap, and the gross-ass pills
Vitamins
are cheaper, so I buy those.
More expensive than one would think. My gummy vitamins, I believe there's 150 in a bottle or something like that, and it's like $12. Pretty expensive, I think. Ain't about that life?
Yeah, I ain't about it. Ain't not about that money.
So what brand supplements do you
Ain't
take?
about it. So I think I'm sponsored, or I pretend that I'm sponsored. So most of my stuff is Optimum Nutrition. Like my creatine when I take it is, my BCAAs are, both my whey and casein are, the glutamine is, and that's it actually, because my multivitamin is a Target brand. And my pre-workout, I think Optimum Nutrition makes one, but I haven't tried it. I was doing Mr. Hyde, and now I switched to this GAT stuff that I'm loving right now.
Cool.
So I'm probably gonna buy more of it when I run out.
Yeah, my multivitamin is also Target brand. My protein, both proteins, casein and whey, they're Muscle Farm. My pre-workout used to be Muscle Farm, but I recently switched over to the Mr. Hyde referenced earlier. Target's always got the deals.
Yeah, Target's the best. Love Target.
So that's about it for Swole Stories this week. What do you want to touch on next week, you think?
Well, I have encountered a asshole at the gym this past week, and I would like to go off on assholes at the gym that I don't like.
So just a rant-filled Swole Stories for next week?
It's basically just going to be me cussing out people at the gym, so yeah.
Cool, I'm down for that. I'm excited now.
Excellent.
Segueing into top news here. So Suicide Squad came out a week or two ago, and it is revealed that Harley Quinn is an accomplice in the murder of Robin, and the Joker did in fact kill Robin. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, obviously, Joker was gonna be the one to kill Robin. That, you just can't change that. That's just something you can't change. But it is a bit surprising that Harley Quinn was involved, because typically in the comic books she's not involved whatsoever in the murder of Robin. I'm okay with it. I don't think that's a big change. Like, it's not a big deal because the Joker still is the one. But I'm interested to see how the scenario played out, how Robin got killed. So I'm hoping to see that in a future Batman installment.
Yeah, I agree completely with that. It makes sense. Do you think we'll see it in a Batman solo film?
I'm okay with either, but I would love a Batman, like seeing that in Batman, because we'll have a Batman-centric movie with Joker. That would be great.
On to some more DC Cinematic Universe news. Black Manta is confirmed to be the villain in the upcoming Aquaman movie that's coming out. How do you feel about Black Manta? Would you have liked to seen someone else, or are you good with the Black Manta decision?
Black Manta is the quintessential Aquaman villain, so I'm totally okay with that. He's basically the Joker to his Batman, so I think it's an excellent choice to have him be the first villain we see him go up against on his own.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know too much about Aquaman myself, but I do know that Black Manta is his main villain, so it would make sense. I believe is this going to be the first feature film, like solo Aquaman film?
Yeah, no, there's never been an Aquaman movie, or we've never seen a big screen version of him. There have been like live action versions on Smallville, I believe, and there was like a unproduced or unreleased pilot, but that stuff was garbage probably.
Fun fact about that unreleased Aquaman pilot, I was listening to Teddy Sears on the Fat Man on Batman, and he told Kevin Smith that he actually tried out for the role of Aquaman in that unreleased pilot.
He would be a perfect Aquaman for like the current Aquaman we have in the comics, because he's tall, blonde, lean. I think he fits the profile very well, and he's a good actor. I really like him.
Yeah, he's great. He's great in Flash season 2.
They're going for like the 90s Aquaman with the long hair and the beard and stuff. So he'll probably lose his hand too, because he loses his hand in the 90s. But now our current Aquaman has both hands.
I'm excited. On to some DC CW news. Dolph Lundgren will appear on Arrow as the Russian big bad in the flashbacks. How do you feel about that?
Love it. Dolph Lundgren's great. He's a badass. Beats down on my boy Rocky. Hoping him and Oliver square up in the ring. Definitely looking forward to it.
That'd be great. I am as well. I'm a big Arrow fan. Season 4 kind of dipped off quality-wise, in my opinion, so I'm hoping they bring it back with just ruthlessness, and I think they might go towards that way with Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, or if they kill Felicity, the show would get better.
That is very true. But I don't think that's going to happen as much as everybody wants it to.
I don't know, man. Flashpoint. Let's just hope.
Speaking of Flash, in the Season 3 Flash trailer, we see a dark speedster in a black outfit, and it has been confirmed that he is Savitar from the comics, who I don't know too much about. I'm not sure if you do, but I pulled a quote out of an article, and it says that Savitar is the Dark Master of the Speed Force.
Well, he sounds a lot like Zoom then, but I know nothing about this Savitar guy. If I'm recalling correctly, I think he's relatively new to the comics. I think he's just introduced in this the new Flash Rebirth as the big villain. I'm pretty sure. But I'm kind of getting bored with the whole speedster villain type of thing on Flash, because every season it's just been another guy that runs fast, and Barry's got to run faster. But I mean, the show's still good, and I'll still watch it. But I'm hoping he's not like the main big bad, and we have like more of the rogues gallery or something like that.
Yeah, I'd love it if the big bad was actually centered around the rogues.
I'm okay if he's just a Wally West villain or something like that, or a Flashpoint villain. I mean, I'm okay regardless of what he is, but I'm hoping they do something interesting with him.
I'm sure they won't fuck it up just because their track record's so good.
Yeah, I totally trust the people behind Flash.
I do as well. Some more Flash news. Flash and Supergirl will cross over for a musical episode. So you yourself, Will, being a Pitch Perfect fan, what are your thoughts?
I think it's an excellent idea. I've always liked musical episodes of TV. I've never watched like Glee or anything like that, but I've heard that Grant Gustin and Melissa Benoist were excellent on that. And this is completely unrelated, but I used to watch the TV show, not Flash. I still watch Flash. I used to watch Psych on USA, and I loved that show. And they did a musical episode, and I thought it was perfect. Fit very well. And I actually heard, I don't know if this is true, that Joss Whedon was going to direct the Flash Supergirl musical episode, which I think is an excellent idea. Because beside the fact that we know this man is an excellent director, he has had experience with superhero films, such as The Avengers, Avengers 2.
Yep.
And he's also had experience with TV, like Buffy and stuff like that. And he has experience with musicals, because he did Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. I haven't watched that, heard it's great. I love Nathan Fillion, Josh Whedon. I think, what's his name? NPH, Neil Patrick Harris is in it too. So it's definitely something I'd want to check out, but I think that all adds up to Josh Whedon being the best candidate to direct that episode.
Yeah, I didn't know Josh Whedon had a musical background. I really hope he does do the musical crossover, if not more episodes, because he's a very good director, as you touched on.
I just don't know how that's going to work, seeing as he's a Marvel guy, but I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and find out. Some Star Wars news now. Donald Glover is reportedly the frontrunner to play young Lando Calrissian, however you pronounce it, in the Han Solo film. How do you feel about that?
First of all, I want to say I always struggle saying Calrissian. So you're not the only one there. But I love the idea of adult Gambino playing Lando. And I'm calling him adult Gambino because he's far too old to be childish Gambino now. But I like him in what I've seen him in. Community, he's hilarious. The Martian, he's good. He's got a new TV show coming out, Atlanta. That looks good. He's going to be in Spider-Man. He's going to be Lando. I love it. I'm all for it.
Yeah, I am too. Donald Glover is good in whatever he puts his mind to, whether it's comedy or acting or rapping. So I'm all for it because he hasn't really been bad in anything yet. I hope the Han Solo movie isn't the first thing he's bad in if he does get cast, but I'm sure he won't be. One more tidbit of news here. Rocko's Modern Life will return to Nickelodeon with an hour-long TV movie. You a Rocko's Modern Life fan, Will?
I used to love that show when I was younger, so you could say I'm a fan.
Yeah, I'm all for this. Just for nostalgia reasons. I was also a real big Rocko's Modern Life guy. There's no confirmed date when they're doing it. I'm guessing it's in development as we speak.
Now, my only hope is that it's not going to be a live-action film, right?
No. I feel like I would have read that in the article if it was.
Alright, thank God, because that would be absolutely terrifying, I think.
Yeah, that'd scar many children.
Yeah, I'm not about that.
Neither am I. So our main topic for this week is Stranger Things. We both recently finished the series. Very good series overall. Last episode, I gave a very poor roundup of the show because I'm very bad at describing things. So you want to get us started with Stranger Things, Will?
Yeah, I will also give us a very poor roundup of the show to refresh everyone's memory. Basically, it's a show set in the 80s, and it pays homage, that's the word, pays homage to all 80s films like E.T. and other movies that are reminiscent of that. And it's surrounding around this child who's gone missing in a small town. And there's a government facility might be involved. There's some weird monster thing that might be involved. And it's just it's a mystery. And there's different groups of people trying to solve it. There's the kids' friends, so you see the children's perspective. You see the teenagers, the kid's older brother, his perspective of trying to figure it out. And then the mom and the sheriff who team up together, you see their perspective. So everyone can kind of relate to the show because you get to see the child, see the teenager, and you see the adult perspectives. And it's just a real enjoyable mystery show.
Yeah, it really is. There's great performances by the whole cast entirely. Really nobody stood out to me as giving a poor performance. Winona Ryder is the mother in the film of Will. Will gets lost, and she's the mom, and she gives a good performance as just kind of a crazy old lady. Whenever I think of Winona Ryder, I think of two movies, Beetlejuice being one, and the other being Mr. Deeds.
I do think of Mr. Deeds, but I've never seen Beetlejuice, so I don't think of that at all. I didn't know she was in that, but I know Keaton was.
Keaton is, yeah. I forgot Chief Hopper's real name in real life. It's David something. I forget. But he gives a very good performance. He hasn't been in many things as a major role. He was actually in Suicide Squad. He was a senator or like a general or something. I can't remember offhand. But even the kids themselves, I'm guessing they're anywhere between like 8 and 12 years old, but they give very good performances. Very genuine performances by them. Would you consider this, what genre would you consider this? Like a thriller, a drama, even like a comedy at times? What do you think?
I think it's more of like a horror, sci-fi, drama, thriller. I know that's like a bunch of random things, but like there's moments of you get scared. There's also the science fiction elements with other dimensions and shit. And then clearly there's the drama because you feel for that missing boy and stuff. And thriller because it keeps you on the edge of your seat.
Yeah, it really does keep you on the edge of your seat. It's only 8 episodes long. Every episode is roughly between 45 and 55 minutes, so it's not a huge like commitment as many Netflix shows are anywhere between like 13 and 20 episodes, but I'm usually a sucker for a small cliffhanger at the end of each episode that makes me want to transition to the next one, and Stranger Things really did that to me. I really wanted to bang out all 8 episodes the first day, but I couldn't, so I finished it in like 4 days instead.
Yeah, after the first episode, I was totally hooked in like that.
Yeah, they're really good at doing that. What else can we talk about Stranger Things? Do you want to get into spoilers?
Absolutely, because I need to talk about the last episode.
What do you want to talk about?
Well, in the last episode, it all comes to a conclusion. They get Will back. 11 dies. There's just some crazy shit, and I just want to discuss speculation as to what happened.
All right, speculation. Let's do it. So in the last episode, 11 quote-unquote dies. I'm going to say that because we're not sure if she's actually dead or not. But one thing that really caught me, so Will's back. It's about a month later, I believe, after the whole incident. And then it's Christmas Day, Christmas night or whatever. They're having dinner. Will excuses himself from the table and goes to the bathroom. The lights flash and it goes between Will's world and the other dimension, and then he throws up a slug into the sink. And that's kind of where the series ends. So I think that slug was like a baby Demogorgon. So I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I either think it's something like that, a baby Demogorgon, because we see the sort of alien setup when he's in the Upside Down. There's like a face hugger on his face, and that's like the chest burster or buster. I think they're called chest busters. So I think that's the chest buster. So maybe that's a baby Demogorgon, or it's gonna grow into like an egg that's gonna hatch the Demogorgon. I either think that, or that it's gonna turn into one of those like weird viney things that is a portal into the Upside Down.
Oh, that'd be pretty crazy, huh?
Yeah, so I don't know if they're gonna be dealing with another monster next season, or if they're gonna be dealing with another portal, or both maybe.
Yeah, I feel like if it opens up into a portal, I feel like there'll just be more monsters there. But imagine if it didn't open up into a portal and it just opened up into a monster, and the monster was trapped in our world instead of like season 1 where humans are trapped in the Demogorgon's world. I think that would be interesting.
I'm led to believe that the Demogorgon can open portals, so I don't think he would get stuck in our dimension, because he seemed to show up wherever he wanted to, and I got the assumption that he just could will portals at his command, or he or she. We don't actually know the
we don't know the
gender.
sex of the Demogorgon.
Yeah, we don't know the gender. So
what else happens?
Oh, you mentioned that it skips a month or whatever.
Yep.
During that month, Sheriff Hopper was helping the whoever that facility, those scientist guys. He was helping them or something, because at the end, the final showdown where 11 kills the Demogorgon and she dies, they take Hopper away, and we never find out what Hopper did in that month with the bad guys, whatever they're called. I don't know what to call them.
Yeah, that's very true, because in the last episode, before they find Will, the Hawkins lab...
That's it, Hawkins lab.
Hawkins lab, yeah. The guy 11 calls Papa. We we don't actually know his name. Oh, Dr. Brenner?
Brenner. It's Brenner, I think. Yes, I think you're right.
Brenner. That's what it is. So Dr. Brenner takes Hopper in for questioning, and Hopper's like, all right, let's get a deal going. And he says all the Hawkins lab people have to leave because the portal to the other dimension is inside Hawkins lab. So he says, like, everyone has to leave. Everyone's got to leave. Dr. Brenner has to allow them, give them the gear and stuff to go into the other dimension. And that's what Hopper gets out of the deal. But we never know what Dr. Brenner gets out of the deal. We know he wants 11 back, but we never, like, nothing's ever confirmed about what he got out of the deal. So it's kind of left up to speculation.
Yeah, I could see, like, the first 2 episodes or something of the next season, like, during that 1 month we find out what happens or something like that. Because we're led to believe 11 is still alive because Hopper is leaving Eggos in the forest. So maybe he was, like, in the Upside Down, searching for her or something. That was what he was doing for Brenner. Or, you know, hunting more Demogorgons or something. I don't know.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because... So Hopper leaves the food and Eggos in the woods. We don't know exactly where that woods location is, but there is that portal to the other dimension in that tree that Nancy got stuck in. So could that box of food be outside that tree, and 11 just kind of lives in the Upside Down right now? We don't really know.
Yeah, it could definitely be something like that, because we don't know if the portals got destroyed with the Demogorgon, or if 11 destroyed the portals, or if Brenner destroyed the portals or whatever, so we don't know if those are still intact, and maybe she's weak or something, so she has to live in the Upside Down to get her, like, energy back or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I was led to believe that the portals were still open, just because I can't remember off the top of my head if 11 dies before they take Will out of the Upside Down, or they take Will out of the Upside Down before 11 dies. I can't remember.
I believe they take Will out after, so the portals probably are still intact, actually, now thinking about it.
Yeah, and don't, in like episode 1 or 2, they try to close the portal, but they just can't because it's just out of their resources and power.
Yeah, I think they tried to do something like that.
Interesting. Do you think during season 1 the Demogorgon 11 killed was the only Demogorgon, or do you think there's more that we just didn't see?
Well, I have to assume that the Upside Down is like Earth, and that Earth has multiple different, like, creatures, so I feel like the Upside Down should have more than just one Demogorgon. There might be other animals we don't even know about, you know?
Yeah, that's true. We do... It's either the last episode or the second to last episode. We do see a hatched egg. I was not led to believe, but I, for some reason, thought that was like a new Demogorgon that had hatched. But I think you touched on that you think it was the Demogorgon that already died.
I don't know. It could be. It could be the previous Demogorgon. Could be a new one. Could be a completely different species. We don't really know.
Who's to say?
What are the guys' names? The Duffer Brothers. That's who knows.
They know. They're the only ones.
Or maybe they don't even know. Who knows?
Maybe. Anything else you want to touch on for Stranger Things?
I think that's what I got for speculation, but I just wanted to say how excellent the cast was. I find that it's... Yeah, I really thought they were real good. I find that usually child actors kind of suck, unless it's like adults playing children, which is stupid, but like that's what Hollywood usually does. But these kids are actually around the age they're supposed to be playing, and I thought they all did a good job. 11, she was awesome. She was really good. All the boys were. And I think my favorite character, though, gotta be Hopper. At first, I wasn't really feeling him, but he just grows on you throughout the show, and I like him a lot.
Yeah, I agree. Everyone gives a great performance, even the kids. They're very believable child actors, and they give a very well done performance.
Yeah, no, they really conveyed like the emotions they were supposed to be feeling on the show, and it felt real. Like they did an excellent job, and it's really hard for kid actors to be good. Like, I watched the show The Strain on FX, and I forget what the kid's, the main character's son, his name is, but the actor who plays him, he sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not his fault. It's not his fault. He's like 8 years old, so I guess he doesn't know how to act right or whatever, but like, they're like in life or death situations, and like, he does not make me feel like that. But these kids, they did make me feel what they were feeling. So I applaud them.
Solid.
Also, the score for the show, it's great. It feels 80s, and it's like creepy, and it just perfectly fits the show, and I really like it.
Yeah, I agree completely. It really adds to the persona of the show, and the music does creep you out, and it is very 80s, as you touched on.
I think that's all I got for Stranger Things, Nick.
That's about
You
it.
got anything else? That's what I got.
Nice. Anybody listening to this, I suggest to go see Stranger Things. As I said before, it's not a huge commitment, only 8 episodes. I think it's well worth your time. I don't know what you think.
Definitely worth watching. I mean, like you said, 8 episodes. It's very easy to watch, but that shouldn't be the convincing point that it's only 8 episodes. It's just an excellent show, and you should watch it.
Yeah, I think if they watch episode 1, they'll be hooked just like we were.
Yeah, absolutely. Pulls you right in.
So since Stranger Things is a sci-fi genre show, we figured we'd talk about some sci-fi movies that we enjoy. So we both compiled a list here of 5 each. Neither of us know what we put on each list. So I figured we'd just talk about these movies. So what do you got, number 1?
Well, I just want to say I cheated a little bit on this list. A couple of my movies are film like franchises, but I'm counting it as one. And also, I couldn't decide between 2, so I actually have 6 on my list. But that's okay, because I make the rules.
All right.
And
yeah, go for it.
I also want to say that these are in important order or whatever. They're just in a random order that means nothing. So the first one I have is Krampus. Now this is a newer show. It's a newer movie. It came out this past December. It stars Adam Scott, Todd Packard from The Office, because I don't know his actual name. It has Berta from 2.5 Men, also don't know her real name. But anyways, the premise of the movie, it's a Christmas movie, but these people suck. They don't really have the Christmas spirit, and then one of them, the youngest child, he has the most Christmas spirit, and then he renounces Christmas basically, which puts them all on the naughty list or something like that, and Krampus comes to take him to hell. And it's really fun. It's kind of scary. It's really funny, which is what I like most about it. I like when horror and comedy are sort of combined together, and it's just a real fun, scary movie, and it's a good holiday film. So I like it a lot, and I would certainly recommend it to you or a friend.
Is it now your favorite Christmas movie?
It's right behind Die Hard as my favorite Christmas movie.
Right behind
Yes.
Die Hard. Nice.
Right behind Die Hard.
So the first movie I have on my list is called Snowpiercer, and I'm very bad, as we know, at describing movies, so I pulled up quick synopsises on Google, and I'm just going to read those. So Snowpiercer is a post-apocalyptic ice age forces humanity's last survivors aboard a global spanning supertrain. One man, Chris Evans, will risk everything to lead a revolt for control of the engine room and the future of the world. So obviously, Chris Evans is in this film. Tilda Swinton is also in it. She's in the upcoming Doctor Strange film. And also Jamie Bell is in this film. So 2 members of the Fantastic Four are in this movie. But it's a very good movie. I enjoyed it a lot. It's such a crazy concept. That's really what pulled me in. So whatever's left of the human population is on a train, and like the people in poverty are at the back of the train, and the wealthy, like 1%ers, are up at the very front of the train, and they literally fight their way to the front of the train, and the cinematography is great. It had me on the edge of my seat. It's a very interesting film. I don't really know how to describe it, but I enjoy it, and I suggest it to anyone who likes weird sci-fi films.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one, but I love Chris Evans, obviously. He's great. But I've heard excellent things about this movie, and it's been on my Netflix list for forever. But hearing you describe it now, it sounds like the most ridiculous movie.
It's a ridiculous concept, but somehow it works. I don't know how.
Yeah, no, it's totally something I want to check out, though. I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, so that's really all I have to say about it. What's next on your list?
I have Cabin in the Woods. Now, this is actually one of my favorite movies of all time. It's written and directed by Joss Whedon and Drew Goddard. Obviously, we know Joss Whedon from The Avengers, and I think Drew Goddard, he did some episodes of Lost or something like that.
Doesn't he do Daredevil? Netflix?
I don't remember if he did do Daredevil or was supposed to be doing Daredevil, but he's involved with that somewhat. But anyways, the movie's awesome. It just pokes fun at the horror genre of how like it's a bunch of kids that go to a cabin in the middle of nowhere, and then they do like drugs and have sex, and then they all get murdered or whatever. And this is just a real fun take on that whole concept. It's very funny too. It's a black comedy like Krampus as well, but it's just such an interesting take on the horror genre. At first it seems like the standard horror movie, but then you see that there's some weird stuff going on here, and it's so interesting. It's really worth watching, and I just highly recommend it. I can't recommend it enough, and it just gets me really upset when I watch it with people and they don't appreciate it because it's such a smart, clever film that's just poking fun at the movie genre.
Isn't Mr. Dobek in that movie?
Mr. Dobek is in it, and so is that asshole from Billy Madison who's trying to steal a company from Billy Madison.
Oh, the redheaded guy.
Yeah, Eric, I think his name is.
Eric. Classic. I have seen Cabin in the Woods, and like you said, it's the movie's smarter than its viewers, I feel like, because people just don't like understand and appreciate the film.
It's very unappreciative. That's not right. It's very underappreciated because people don't understand it. But it's just so smart.
That it is. So my second movie is Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt. And actually, I think Firestorm is in this film too.
The black Firestorm or the white Firestorm?
Jefferson Jackson.
And that totally sounded wicked racist. Can you cut this out? We're just going to start with here. Is that Robbie Amell or Jefferson Jack's Firestorm?
It's Jefferson Jackson.
Oh, cool. I like him.
But so Tom Cruise is a general or an officer or something in the army, and aliens come to attack Earth, and Tom Cruise's character has never seen combat. He's just like a higher up. He just tells everyone what to do. And he, by some way or means, he's assigned to a suicide mission, pretty much. And he's killed within seconds of stepping on the battlefield. And it throws him into a Groundhog Day type loop where he keeps repeating the same mission over and over again, and he keeps dying over and over again. So he teams up with Emily Blunt, who is the best soldier like in the world that the world has. So they team up so they can take down the aliens to try. So once they take down the aliens, Tom Cruise will be out of his loop. But it's interesting just because I like Groundhog Day, the original with Bill Murray, and it's interesting that they threw that concept into like a sci-fi alien war kind of deal. But it's a good movie. It's better than I thought it was going to be when I originally turned it on. So I like it. Maybe you guys will like it.
Yeah, I'm a Tom Cruise guy. I love Top Gun. And I've heard nothing but good things about this movie, too. It's just another movie I haven't gotten around to seeing. I've almost bought it quite a few times on Blu-ray, just haven't pulled the trigger. So it's definitely something I want to check out, especially with this rave review that you're giving it. And I like Groundhog Day, too, like you said. It's a good one. It's a fun movie. Love Bill Murray. So I definitely want to check this out.
Yeah, both very good films. I suggest it. What do you got for number 3?
Alright, so here's where I started cheating a little bit. I have the Final Destination film series. Now, that includes 5 movies.
It's a lot of movies.
It is a lot of movies, but they're all
You're at
basically. It's not 7.
You're at 7 right now.
No, this counts as 1. It's 1.
Wow.
But anyways,
All right, whatever.
it's 1. So all the movies basically have the same premise, and it's someone is in a situation where a bunch of people are gonna die. The first movie is they're on an airplane. Second movie, they're like in a highway pile up. Third one, amusement park. Fourth one is a NASCAR race, and the fifth one is like a bridge accident. But basically, it all starts. Someone has a premonition that everyone's gonna die in that situation, and then they wake up and they're like, "Oh shit, everyone's gonna die," and then they get off the plane or get off the highway or whatever with a group of people that decide to listen to them, and then it does happen, and then death is trying to catch up to them to kill them because they were supposed to die. And eventually we find out all the people among all 5 movies are connected, and because this one event happened, all their other events happen leading to them cheating death. And they're really fun movies. I think it's really insanely creepy, the creative ways that the writers find to kill people. Like the giant pile up in the second one, it's insane. Like there's logs falling off a truck, going through a windshield, killing this cop. To a guy getting acupuncture in the fifth one, and he like falls off and gets all the needles in him, and then he lights on fire, and it's just crazy, and it's a bit morbid, but I really enjoy seeing the architecture of death in these movies.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people must be in the same boat as you if they made 5 of these films.
I'm looking for another one, but I don't know if it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they're real fun movies. They're not that scary, but they're pretty gruesome. But I totally think they're worth watching.
I can honestly say that because of those movies, I won't drive behind like an overloaded truck with like cut trees or like big machines or anything on the back of the truck, because I'm afraid it'll fall off and go right into my car and I'll die.
Actually, I just wanna. I do agree with you, but I just wanna highlight my favorite death in the series.
Yep.
In the second one, there's like another car accident, but it's much more minor than the one that starts the whole movie or whatever. But so there's leaking gas, and then someone's like smoking a cigarette, and they drop the cigarette into the gas, and then the gas catches on fire, and then the van blows up. And when the van blows up, it like explodes a barbed wire fence at this guy, and it slices him in 3.
In 3?
In 3, because it's got like 3 lines of barbed wire or whatever. It's just insane. Like, I feel like that could happen, but it would never happen, and I'm sicko, I guess, because I find that thoroughly enjoyable.
I guess so. So for my third movie, we're kind of running low on time here, so I'm going to just read a quick synopsis. So anybody who knows me knows that this was my favorite movie sophomore year in high school, called The Prestige, with Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman in it. So an illusion gone horribly wrong pits 2 19th century magicians, Alfred Borden, Christian Bale, and Rupert Anger at Hugh Jackman. They pit each of them against each other in a bitter battle for supremacy. Terrible consequences loom when the pair escalates their feud, each seeking not to outwit, but to destroy the other man. So it's like old school magicians. They dress up and go to each other's shows and try to figure out how they do their tricks. And a magician never tells how to do his tricks and stuff like that. So it's an interesting concept. It is a Christopher Nolan movie, if you're into Christopher Nolan flicks. David Bowie, rest in peace, he does play Nikolai Tesla in this film, which is interesting, and he actually does very well in the role. So I suggest The Prestige. It's not the greatest movie, but I enjoy the whole concept. There's a big twist at the end that I'm not going to tell you guys because it would ruin the entire movie.
Yeah, I also, again, haven't seen this one. Want to, heard good things. Love Hugh Jackman, love Christian Bale, rest in peace David Bowie. Unfortunately for me, this movie has been spoiled, so I know the big ending, the big reveal.
That sucks.
But yeah, it does suck. But I still want to see it. I probably will get around to watching it eventually. All right, are you all done? Or you still got one more, right?
I got 2 more, but they're well-known flicks, so I'm not going to go into too much depth about them.
All right, and I have 3 more. If you want right now, I'll just bang out all 3 real quick, and then you can bang out your 2.
Okay.
All right, so first up in this section of 3, I have the Trimmers film series. I feel like they're kind of a cult favorite, so a lot of people know about them. They're kind of under the radar, but basically they're about these underground giant worm type monsters called graboids. And in the first movie, it's sort of like Jaws on land. It's got Kevin Bacon and a bunch of other actors. This one was actually released theatrically. It's real good. It's funny. It's kind of scary. And then there's 4 other movies. There's 5 total again.
Wow.
And, yep. But basically, every movie, these graboids, they start evolving like a caterpillar. So in the second movie, they're different, but they're still the graboids. In the third movie, they're different again. The fourth movie is a prequel. And then in the fifth movie, they're different again because this time they're like a African version instead of the North American version. Fifth one actually has Jamie Kennedy, but the actual love that guy. But Kevin Bacon doesn't return for any of the movies, and the actor Michael Gross basically becomes the main character of the film series. He plays Burt Gummer, and he's just like a crazy doomsday prepper kind of guy. But the movies are real fun. They're action, adventure. Obviously sci-fi because of the whole giant underground worm monster thing. But they're just real fun movies. Back in the day, me and my boys used to have Tremors parties when I was in like 4th grade, and we'd all watch the movies together. There was a TV series actually on Sci-Fi Channel, so these are a known property, and I totally think they're worth checking out.
Cool.
My next one, I got Eight-Legged Freaks, stars David Arquette. And as the movie may imply, it's about spiders. These spiders are giant, and it's basically like a throwback to those old like 1950s movies with like giant ants and shit. It's another funny. It's a funny, scary movie type of deal. It actually stars Scarlett Johansson as well. Very, very young Scarlett Johansson, still very attractive. Yeah, fun movie though. It's got a lot of laughs. It actually kind of creeped me out a little bit when I was younger, so. Another movie I think is worth watching. And then last I have Idle Hands. This is an old one. It's from probably from like the 90s. It actually has Devon Sawa or whatever. He's from the first Final Destination. But basically, this dude's a lazy stoner and he doesn't do shit. So his right hand gets possessed by the devil because he's a lefty. And it plays off the old saying, the idle hands are a devil's plaything. So then his hand gets possessed and like starts killing people and shit. And then he cuts his hand off, and that leads to even more trouble. And him and his stoner friends, who is Seth Green and Foggy Nelson.
Foggy.
They have to Foggy Nelson. Yep, they have to stop his possessed hand from killing people. And there's a cameo from the band The Offspring, which is pretty cool. And this has a young Jessica Alba, who's also fine as hell in this movie. And that's what I got on my list. I love all those movies. Think they're all worth checking out. So go watch them.
Nice. All right, so I got 2 more here. Men in Black, classic. Surprised this wasn't on your list.
Oh, fuck, I love that movie. I love all those movies, actually. Damn it.
Throwback, old school Will Smith, old Tommy Lee Jones. Doesn't get much better.
He's always
than that.
old.
Fighting aliens. Doesn't get much better. I mean, it's pretty much... The first Men in Black is pretty much a universally loved film, I feel like we could say.
Yeah, definitely.
Was Men in Black a comic at any point?
I don't think it was a comic, or maybe, you know what? It might have been a comic that was, like, not at all like the movie, and then they made the movie anyways.
Oh, okay.
I think that's what it was.
No, okay. No, I love Men in Black. I just like the whole concept, and they have all the cool gadgets and gear and stuff. It was a great movie to grow up watching, the whole series. And my last...
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I
really like those movies. I just want to say I really like those movies. They're fun. And I'm upset to tell you that the Men in Black 21 Jump Street crossover has been canned, which is upsetting.
That is upsetting, because I think Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum would have been great Men in Black agents.
Yeah, they really would have been. But, I mean, I guess there's still hope. Maybe it'll happen. Who knows?
Yeah, it could.
All right, what do you got next, Nick?
My last movie is Space Jam. I know you're a huge sports guy.
Yeah, sports are great.
But Space Jam, Michael Jordan, Bugs Bunny, and the Looney Tunes, they got to win a basketball game to save humanity. What's more normal than that, right?
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
But Bill Murray's in it. as we mentioned before, Bill Murray's great in everything he does. Michael Jordan gives not a terrible performance for a athlete being in a feature film. There's some athletes that have been in movies and it's just kind of awful, but his is bearable. It's bearable. But I enjoy the movie, another movie that I grew up watching, and I'll still watch it if it's on today.
Yeah, I'm not really a basketball fan, but I also liked this movie a lot when I was a child. I still like it too now.
I just wanted to toss in one want-to-see sci-fi movie, and it is Moon with Sam Rockwell. I hear nothing but good things, and I like Sam Rockwell when he's in things, and I've been meaning to see this.
Yeah, I like Sam Rockwell too. Probably the best part of Iron Man 2 was Sam Rockwell. I actually own this movie on Blu-ray. I have not watched it. I would like to watch it. That's why I bought it. I've heard great things about it, like you just mentioned. And I'm going to watch it eventually.
Awesome. So those are our lists.
Can I stop you for a second, Nick?
Yes, you can.
I just want to go back to Space Jam and mention that it has one of the best songs, rap songs of our time. It's called Hit 'Em High. It's the Monstars anthem, and it has Be Real from Cypress Hill, Busta Rhymes, Method Man, Coolio, and LL Cool J, and it's a work of rap art.
That's a squad right there.
Yeah, it's an excellent song, and it's dope.
It is dope.
It's the firest of fire jams. Yes, good movie. Good soundtrack. Alright, what's next, Nick?
Our weekly roundup is next, Will. So what have you been up to?
Oh, yes. So, this past week, I saw Bad Moms with Mila Kunis, Kristen Bell, and Derek's wife from Step Brothers. I can never remember her name, but she's funny. Anyways, I saw it with my girlfriend, so it's kind of a girl movie, but it was very funny. It's rated R, it's raunchy. I liked it. I'm sure you would like it.
Sure I would.
Just want to say, yeah, just funny movie. It's definitely worth checking out. I also started reading the Suicide Squad novelization. Haven't finished it yet, but it's real good, and it's basically everything that people are complaining that Suicide Squad didn't have and whatnot is in the book. And I feel like it has a lot of the deleted scenes and stuff, so it's nice to see how the movie could have been. And I really like the book so far. It makes a lot more sense. The plot is more linear. There's more character development. There's a lot more Joker already, and I'm not even halfway done the book. So I definitely think it's worth checking out, especially if we don't get like an extended cut. This is probably the only way you could see how the movie could have been. And I also went to Boston Comic Con. I didn't like meet anyone there or anything, go to panels or anything. I don't even know if they have panels, but I got a lot of artwork, bought a couple comics, had a lot of fun. You were supposed to go, but you bailed.
Yeah, I flaked.
But you flaked, but we'll probably go next year. Or I'm gonna go next year anyways. If you come, you can come.
I'll go.
But okay. There we go then. That's a good time.
There it is.
So that's basically my roundup. But I also want to just add that before Comic Con, when I went, I was packing my bag and I found a fucking bat, a live bat in my backpack. It just crawled out. Don't know how it got there or how long it was in my house, but there's a fucking bat in my backpack.
So you know what that means?
I'm Batman.
You're Batman.
Fucking right I am. But that's all I got, Nick. What do you got?
So I was listening to the Weekly Planet podcast, an old episode where they talk about the Daniel Craig Bond films, and Mr. Sunday said that Quantum of Solace isn't as bad as he first remembered. So I decided to rewatch it and decide if it's as bad as I remember, and it's not. Mr. Sunday was right. He also mentioned that if you think of Quantum of Solace as a direct sequel to Casino Royale instead of like a solo, not a solo film, but a standalone film, it works better that way. So, like I said, it's not as bad as I remember. It is still the worst, in my opinion, it is the worst Daniel Craig Bond film. Definitely not the worst Bond film overall. But there's just some odd things in this movie, like the main villain's plot is to like create droughts in third world countries, and he like buys all the water and he sells it for like triple the price, which is a weird Bond film villain idea, instead of like blowing up the world or something as they usually are. But that it's a Bond film, so the action scenes are really over the top. and whatnot. And Daniel Craig is really ruthless, and he kills a lot of people in this movie. But I wasn't like, I didn't want to shut it off at any point. Like I watched it. It's a short Bond film. It's like an hour 45 minutes, so I watched it no problem. Would I watch it again? Yeah, maybe. I'd rather watch Casino Royale or Skyfall or Spectre instead. But
Casino Royale is so good.
Casino Royale is my favorite Bond film. But yeah, it's all right. I don't know. That's about all I have to say about it. I remember hearing that. I think this movie came out in 2008, maybe. And there was like a writer's strike, and they really just kind of pushed this movie out during the writer's strike, and that kind of affected it a little bit. But I don't know too much about that. But it's an all right movie. Would I suggest it to somebody? Maybe not. I'd say watch Casino Royale first and watch the other Bond films first before you watch this one. But not a complete waste of my time. Also this week, I downloaded episode 1 of the Batman Telltale game. I have never played a Telltale game before, so this was a whole different animal to me. Because everything you do in this game and like choose to say and stuff, it affects the outcome later on in the game, which is crazy. Because you would talk to like, just say Harvey Dent, and you'd say something, and in the top right corner it would say, Harvey will remember that for later. And you'd just be like, fuck, what'd I do? But it focuses a lot more on Bruce Wayne, the person, than it does Batman per se, which I think is interesting. Because in the films and other video games, you get more Batman than the person, Bruce Wayne. I would have liked a little more combat, but it's only episode 1. There's 4 more episodes, so I'm sure we'll get more fighting and combat. There are 5 total episodes. I don't know what you call them. Oh, nope. There's 5 episodes total for the whole game, and there happened to be 5 chapters in episode 1. Took me about 2 hours, maybe, hour 45, 2 hours to beat the first episode. I'm really looking forward to episode 2. I don't think it comes out first week in September, maybe. They give it like a month in between each episode. I really enjoyed the Batman suit design. It was kind of along the lines of the Affleck gray Batman suit, but he had the white eyes, like you couldn't see his pupils or anything, which I thought was cool. The gameplay was very weird. It lagged a lot more than it should have. And the graphics weren't the best. Like if it was a mid-range shot on Bruce Wayne and say Alfred, it looked fine, but when they closed up to like Alfred or Bruce's face, it almost looked like a literal drawing. It was strange. We did get to meet Catwoman. She's kind of dating Harvey Dent or something. I don't know. It's weird. But
that's odd.
Yeah, it is odd. So I'm interested to see where they go in episode 2 and the rest of the episodes. But like I said, I'm excited for the rest. It's a pretty cheap game. I bought the season pass for like $25. Maybe it was $30. I can't remember, but I'm excited for more. I don't know. That's about all I did this week.
Yeah, I just want to add in off of what you did. I've seen all the Daniel Craig Bond movies, but Quantum of Solace because I heard that it wasn't that great, and I was trying to get caught up for Spectre real fast. But maybe I'll go back and check that out due to your recommendation. And I also I pre-ordered the disc-based version of the Batman game, and so I'm excited to give that a play when I get it in September. But that's all I got.
All right, you want to move on to tweets?
We got tweets. Let's get the tweets going.
We do have a couple tweets. Our first tweet is from @HughesGotGame. He says, in The Force Awakens, do you think Han Solo turned on the lightsaber and killed himself? What do you think?
Well, I didn't know that was a real theory until we got this tweet. Personally, though, I don't think that's the case. I don't think Han Solo would have done that. I think Harrison Ford would have done that because he wanted to get killed when he got put in the carbonite back in, not A New Hope. What can I remember what it is? Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
So, Harrison Ford, yes. Han Solo would not have done it, no. So, that's my answer.
Yeah, it's interesting because when we got this tweet, I was very confused at the tweet, and then I looked it up, and it is an actual fan theory, which is very interesting. And they gave a couple examples why it could happen. during the conversation between Kylo and Han, Kylo says something along the lines of, I can't do it myself, like, will you help me? And then Han says, yes, anything, and then, like, the lightsaber goes off, which, I mean, could imply that he killed himself, but I mean, it gives kind of hints that it could have been a possibility, but do I think Han killed himself? No, I don't think so. Yeah, so just my answer is no. I don't think he did. So on to our...
It's out of character for Han Solo to do something like that.
Yeah, and like you said, Harrison Ford said he wanted to actually die in a previous... Or he wanted Han Solo to die in a previous film. But on to our next tweet from @ConnorMalagna. He said, who are you most excited to see in the future Justice League movie? Who are you excited to see? Aquaman?
Aquaman. He just looks fucking badass. Love Jason Momoa. Liked him on Game of Thrones. He looks super badass in the trailer. He's mad yoked. He's my most excited, I think, because we've never seen a live action version of Aquaman other than the Smallville one. Because we have Flash, we got the cyborg interpretation we've seen on like Teen Titans and stuff. He's the only character I'm really not familiar with in film, really. So I'm most excited for him, but I'm just excited to see the whole team together, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I'm excited to see where Ezra Miller takes the Flash, because I really enjoy Grant Gustin's Flash on the CW. But I think, as from what we've seen so far, I think Ezra Miller's going to be a really good Barry Allen. On the flip side, I am very excited to see the villains in the film. Like Steppenwolf, we see him very briefly in the BVS Ultimate Cut. So I'm interested to see like him and like the Parademons, if they do Parademons in the Justice League film, and like where that will go. Because obviously we know the Justice League squad and stuff, so I'm interested in the villain side of it.
Yeah, it'll definitely be cool to see where they go with the villains in the film. So I'm looking forward to that as well.
And also, I'm excited to see Superman when and if he returns in Justice League, which he probably will. Black suit, long hair, beard. Will we get it?
Hope so.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool indeed, but I feel like we won't get that because Scott Snyder, not Scott Snyder. Scott Snyder is the excellent Batman writer for comic books. Zack Snyder is the director.
That he is. Last tweet here from @NickNeary13. He says, "Is Gone Girl an unreal movie?" Your thoughts?
Yes. Unreal.
Unreal?
Unreal.
My thoughts are, it is an unreal movie, quite literally, because it is based off of a movie. Nope, it's based off of a novel. So, a fiction novel, which never happened, so it's quite unreal.
So it's figuratively and literally unreal.
Yes, exactly.
Excellent.
Do I enjoy the movie? Yes. Great flick. Highly suggest it.
Oh, it's a very good movie.
Very good, not unreal.
No, it is unreal.
It is unreal?
It is unreal.
It is unreal. Yeah. God, I'm bad at this.
Alright, thank you guys for your questions, especially you, Nick Neary.
Yeah, thank you guys. We really appreciate it. So, anything
else?
End, right? That's the end. That's all we got.
I think that's the end.
And we do have an outro for our intro.
Yep, so look forward to hearing that after we finish talking. But I'm Will.
I'm Nick.
You can find me on Twitter @BigWillieBeats. That's with a Z. And you can also find us on Twitter @Deadlifting Dork. And if you have any questions, you can send it to my Twitter or your Twitter, which is
@Staldy_. Shoot me a tweet. Don't get many tweets. I'm not very popular.
So you can tweet at either two of us, or you can tweet @Deadlifting Dork, or you can hashtag Deadlifting Dorks, and we'll be sure to answer your question on next week's episode.
That we will. Any topic ideas for next week? Main topic?
Thinking either guilty pleasure movies or favorite movies of the year so far.
Huh. Interesting. If you guys want, you guys could tweet at us saying what you want us to talk about. Feel free.
That'd be an excellent idea. But I think that's the end here. We're gonna sign off now.
That's it.
Thank you for listening, guys.
We'll play the outro. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.
Alrighty then.
That's all, folks.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
May the force be with you.
Hasta la vista, baby.